Hello and welcome to episode 5 of SevTech Ages. In this episode, we will be working on our first habitual craft ritual. We're going to be working on some blood altar magic, and for finally and not least, all of this leading up to go to the beneath. So, enough stalling, and let's get right into the video. Okay, I've done way too much searching for this ore, but I finally found some corallium. And there's these, what these are down here. But they're making an awful racket. Care for them, so we're just going to kind of mine around them. I've been trying to find corallium this whole time, and I just haven't been able to find it. And I finally found it. I've been looking for, I don't know how long now, 2 or 3 hours. What is that thing? Oh, there's some more corallium over there. Whoa, ho, ho. This is what we're going to do. That way we don't have to deal with those mobs. I don't know what those things do, and I don't want to find out. So we're just going to mine our corallium and mind our own business. Yeah, I don't know what those things are. Okay, I doubt there's going to be any more corallium down here because this is no longer an ocean biome, if that makes any sense. It has to be either an ocean biome or a swamp biome. This is neither. We're now entering back into the main biome. Hey, we have 33 corallium though. That's really good. Okay, so we finally have some corallium chunks. We have at least 33 of them. I'm totally fine with that. So I don't want to be out here anymore. So we're just going to head back towards our base because there's nothing for us to do here. I've been exploring around for a while and looking, and my stupid horse has fallen back into a cave like the first horse that we had on episode 1. Don't know if you remember that, but that horse also fell into a cave, and I am not going to bother getting him out of the cave. I don't know what it is with the horses in this mod pack, but they are stupid. They're stupid. They fall into caves on their own. He wasn't even near a cave. He walked in, fell into the hole. I had nothing to do with it. So I'll see you guys back at the base. Alrighty. Been working in between episodes to push us further in our advancements. So I went ahead and I made us a blood altar, which is really not hard to make. It's not something too far in progression. The only thing that was really challenging, well, not challenging, but is the demonic will. The only reason demonic will is a little bit harder to get is because you need snares, and you just need to hit an enemy mob with a snare, and then wait for the particle effects and then kill them. It's really not that hard. It literally takes like 2 seconds. So we have our blood altar, and with our blood altar, we now have the ability to craft the apple that will get rid of our step ability, but we also finally have our corallium ore, which we're smelting down right now. Well, not smelting down, but I smelted down the stone for so that we could craft up our corallium infused stone and then put that in the furnace to get our corallium gem. Oh, that's a lot. But now we will be able to make our pedestal soon so that we can actually start getting into doing the rituals for Abyssal Craft. Alrighty, there we go. We got a corallium gem. Luckily, we got just enough of the corallium gem clusters for us to be able to make enough corallium pearls for the rest of our stuff. So if we look at the beneath, we need to actually make this progress. So what we're going to need to make is we're going to need to make a blank teleporter. So blank teleporter, we need a block of all of our ores that we have so far. We also need a corallium pearl, which we have 2 more. We also need an apprentice blood orb, which, as you guessed, makes our corallium pearl. So, luckily, we have enough to be able to make what we need. And in between episodes, I went and I mined some coal, so we should have plenty enough coal to be able to make what we need. We need at least, I'm pretty sure, 2 blocks of coal, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 2 blocks of coal. Okay, and we can't make it that way. Looks like we need to use the press. Okay, yep, just what I thought. All right, well, I'm working on making the press right now. The press is pretty simple. All we need are planks, a slab, and then we need 2 leads, which the leads I'm actually working on right now. We just needed the leather. And our leather is almost done already. So I guess while we wait on that, I guess we can start getting into the blood altar. So, blood altar, what we can do is we can sacrifices. So we actually have a sacrificial dagger, which is pretty easy to make. It's just a bone and then 2 pieces of bronze That's all you need. Now, you hold the sacrifice dagger. Right click with your mouse. Oh, sorry. Don't right click. Left click. Shift right click, and you will be able to cut yourself. Probably shouldn't say that. You'll be able to, as you can see, sacrifice some of your blood, the blood altar. I sacrifice some of our health to get a little bit of blood in our blood altar. So now we need to get a little bit of that blood. I'm trying to figure out how to get some of this blood out of the altar because we need some of it to make some coagulated blood. And you want to be a little bit careful with how many times you sacrifice to the blood altar, because if you do it a little bit too much, you might die. You have to be careful because it does take away your hearts. You are sacrificing your blood points to give to the blood altar. All right, and there we go. We have a horse press now. Now, with the horse press, if we had a horse, which of course we don't have a horse anymore because they continue to kill themselves every single time we get one. Luckily, I know exactly where we can go get a horse. But first, for us to be able to get blood, we need to take rotten flesh and cook rotten flesh. That's how we do that. And there we go. As you can see, we now have blood. So we're just going to keep feeding this rotten flesh until we get a full vat of blood. And then, once we have that, we should have a congealed blood slime block, which we can craft down into some congealed blood. Then, once we have some of the congealed blood, we can put that in our blood altar with our congealed blood, and we can make a weak blood orb. With that, we can then start making some blank runes, which will allow us to upgrade our blood altar. And we'll soon be able to make the apprentice blood orb. Tier 2 blood altar. It's a lot of work, but we'll get there. Now, I know very well that there are tons of horses over here, because I remember last episode. Yeah, here we go. We found tons of horses. Okay, we have us another horse now. So we can actually get to start pressing stuff. So we're going to come over here. We're going to get off of him. We're going to get a lead. Make sure he stays here. And now that we have the press, we can actually take some of our shadow gem fragments from last episode. And we can throw some of these in here, like that. Let him do his magic. And then when he is done, we will now have an additional shadow gem fragment. So we'll let him go around in a circle for a little bit. That way we have some shadow gem. Actually make us an entire shadow gem. There we go. Now we have a shadow gem. What we're looking for. Now that we have this, we can finally start getting into abyssal craft. So there we are. Just like that, we can make an energy pedestal. Boom. Now we can grab some of our statues, and we're going to put this far away from the base because I don't feel like getting our base exploded today. Yep. I think right over here should be plenty far enough away, I feel like. All right. And I also went ahead and I crafted up some walls just so that we could actually protect ourselves from any Sogoth spawning, because I don't know about you guys, but I really don't want to deal with any more of the I think it's called Shogoths. I think it's what it's actually called. But we're just gonna surround this in walls just in case. Just in case. Oh, I've almost got the perfect amount too. Alrighty. Alright, there we go. We now have our Abyssal Craft setup going. And this will slowly charge our Necronomicon. If we grab it, we can go ahead and look. It already has 90 PE in it. And we'll just kind of let that go. We're probably going to hear some lightning in the background every now and then, but that should be alright. Hopefully nothing gets caught on fire. Well, it looks like we're going to need some more monolith stones, so we're going to have to deal with those Sogoths anyway, which kind of sucks, to be honest, because I really don't want to have to deal. I'm so sick and tired of them. Oh. Yep, looks like the gods are finally starting to get a little angry. They're already striking it with lightning, so it must mean it's getting pretty high charge No. Okay. So it only has 1,000 charge on it and it's already getting struck by lightning. That's crazy. All right. So we've got us some coagulated blood now. And we can take this over here and throw it in our blood altar and watch it slowly eat up all of the blood that we just put into it. Okay, that actually took quite a while. I was not expecting it to take so long. That took literally like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. That took forever. Holy moly. Okay, now with the weak blood orb, we can finally start making the blood runes. And the blood runes, well, or the blank runes, sorry, what they're actually called, are kind of expensive to make because we need these blank slates. Now the blank slates are just stone, and we need 8 of these blank runes. So let's just do a little bit of math here. So it looks like we're going to need 48 stone. And then, man, they're like really angry. Okay, and that's what I feared was going to happen. Oh, so that right there was what I feared was going to happen, was that it's going to spawn some of those Shogoffs, and it managed to get out somehow, so that's not very good. Oh. And it killed all my cows. Okay, well, we currently have the Corallian Plague. And there's really nothing we can do about it. Okay, so that's another reason why you don't just... That's another reason why you don't just hold that and try to get away with it. Because as you can see, it, yeah, it does that. So we're just going to kind of leave that alone. And of course, it killed all of our cows that we had. So sick, I guess. Back to what we were doing. We're going to need 48 stone. And we're going to need 16 stone to make the blank slates to be able to make the blank rune for the tier 2 upgrade. So, while we wait on all of that stone to be smelting, we are going to start working on the beneath teleporter, which needs all of the types of blocks. Now, we already have a block of copper, so we're not really worried about that. We need a block of bronze, and we need a block of tin. Now, a block of tin is going to be really easy to make. Tin does not take long. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to break down. I'm actually going to take these copper. I'm going to throw that in there just so that we can start getting production on some bronze because we're going to need that. Alrighty, and we have all the 16 stone that we need. So we're just going to put the stone in there and let it transfer into runes. Oh no. Gonna pick up the statues because they're starting to get a little annoying. You've actually got to be kidding me. There's no way I lost another horse to this stupid cave. I'm so tired of this. This is stupid. This sucks. I lost another horse to the same cave. I'm honestly so angry. Okay, so I came all the way across a pretty far distance. I mean, it's not too far. It's not a far walk. I lost my horse about halfway through, as you saw. The only reason why I came here is just to get some of this dark oak wood, because we need it for one of the crafts. And then after I've grabbed enough of these dark oak logs, there is a pretty rare spawn nearby here that I'll show you guys real quick. That should be plenty enough. All right, so right over here, this is a pretty rare spawn. Oh my god, that's laggy. So there's actually 2 of them here. And we actually need some of this monolith stone, so I'm going to try to grab as much as I can without them finding out. Yeah, but there's 2 of them here right next to each other, so I'm just going to do a wee bit of farming. Okay, well, he found us. 22 should be plenty enough for right now. Should be all we need. That's really good, actually. All right, let's head back to base. I'll see you guys when we're back there. Okay, I swear I'm not losing horses on purpose. I swear. It is actually an accident. If I could have a count for how many horses we've lost this series, I'll put it up. But I think it's around 3 or 4 now, which is not very good. But we have 22 milestone and we have some dark oak wood. The reason why we needed to get that was for our beneath, we actually need monolith stone. As you can see, we need 4 of it. And then we need a dark oak fence. Don't ask me why we need a dark oak fence. I have no idea why we need a dark oak fence. It makes no sense why you would need a dark oak fence for a portal. I guess it's because they're letting you in. I have no idea why the act developers thought that that was, you know, you had to have that. I can show you the progress that I've been making off camera to speed up our episode today. So we now have a bronze block. There we are. So here is everything that we're going to need to make the blank teleporter, except for the apprentice blood orb, which I've been working on. So as you can see now, we have a blood altar all the way up to level or tier 2. And the reason why is because of these blank runes on the bottom. You need to have at least 8 blank runes surrounding it on the bottom. You don't have to have one in the middle. You just have to have it like that. But now we need to go and grab us another Corallium Pearl, just like this here, and boom, and we wait. So I'm definitely an idiot. I don't know if you saw that, but the recipe actually requires a dark oak fence gate. I made fences, so awesome. There we go. So that's what we needed. So we can actually dispose of those for right now. Oh, hey, it's done. Here we go. That definitely did not take like 5 minutes. There we go. Blank teleporter. And you can actually, I don't know why I didn't do this beforehand, but with these little bitty orbs, as you can see, it says the current owner and then it says my name. You have to take these and right click on them. And that way you can actually set them as your own, as you are the owner of them. Alrighty. Now it looks like we are ready to perform the ritual to get our next step in the ages, which is the beneath. So you need ritual stones, so you're going to need at least 4 ritual stones. So 1 here, 1 there, here and there. You need a demonic will, which I went over how to get in this episode. Not too hard to get, really easy. And you need your dark oak fence gate, not a fence post. Got that mixed up. You're going to need gunpowder, and then you're going to need coal dust. Coal dust is just made from grinding down coal. Simple, not hard to make. And then next you need your blank teleporter. Then, for the recipe, you will need a Necronomicon with at least charged up at least 1,000 potential energy. We come over here. We have a Necronomicon with 3,895 PE, so we're good there. Now, all we got to do is come up, and we should just be able to right-click. Nope. Nope. Okay. Not what you want to do. Shift right-click. And you kind of want to step back away from this because it's going to get struck by lightning in a couple seconds. And there we go. There is our teleporter. There is our teleporter for the beneath. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw this wretched Necronomicon back on its stand, and we are going to just put that away and never touch it again forever. Abyssal Craft is definitely not one of my favorite mods. It is kind of annoying, to be honest. But hey, there's our teleporter. That's what we were working on this whole time. Now we can go in there, and the next step for us to be able to, for us to get our black quartz and our aquamarine. Something else we can do is we can get rid of the stupid step-up ability that I have just been getting kind of tired of. Auto-jumping all the time. So all you're going to need is blood altar. It doesn't need to be tier 2. An apple. And you just throw it in there and you wait. Good thing. For this quest right here, you don't actually need to eat the apple. So if you actually want to keep your step-up ability or your auto-jump ability, and you still want to complete the quest like you want to 100% the game, you do not actually have to eat the apple. Alrighty, and there we go. Here's the apple. I definitely don't want it anymore, so there we go. So now when we run up to an object, we don't automatically jump up it, and it makes really annoying content. I now am just like, I have to jump. That's good, because I'm I was starting to get sick and tired of accidentally jumping like every time. All right. I guess it's about that time that we adventure into a new dimension. Welcome to the Beneath. Now, one thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fill in our little platform here. I don't feel like falling to our deaths. Falling would not be very good. One thing that I have to tell you about the Beneath is that the dark will kill you. So you have to make sure that you have torches on you. If you do not have a torch, you will actually die. The darkness will actually slowly start to consume you and you'll start taking damage, which is no bueno. And if you look down there, you can't, I don't know, I don't think you can see it. I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in and I'll brighten it up a little bit, but right there in the middle of the screen is actually some black quartz. That's one thing that we're looking for. Another thing that we're looking for is we are looking for aquamarine. Ooh. And aquamarine is found on the top of the caves, which we right now cannot get. So we are going to have to make our way down. Okay, so I've done just a little bit of exploring. I haven't done much, but I have stumbled across some black quartz ore. So we're going to go ahead and grab some of this stuff. Definitely going to be useful. There's a lot more of it down below, but that's kind of hard for us to get. So stuck with what we got right now. There's definitely some really weird, creepy voice that is panting at me, but I made it down to the base floor and I got a little bit more of the black quartz ore. And if we need to, we can always come back and get some more. There's a lot down there, but there's also a lot of mobs down there. So I'm not really too worried about getting a bunch of this stuff right now. All right, I guess let's head back up. All right, well, I think that's a good little spot for us to end this episode off. I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope this episode was awesome. You know, we did the Beneath right here, and we did a little bit of that Blood Altar as well, leveling it up. Went to the Beneath, and we also got us some of these quartz as well. Amazing. Well, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.